Now I brought it in as an RPF, and I'll explain that a little bit later. I actually rendered as an RPF, which holds some channel information that I'll explain later on. Now just make sure that that's a sequence, and we'll go open, and we're popped up with this window here. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. If you're unsure of what color something was rendered on out of a 3D package, what you do is just ignore the alpha channel and go OK. Now if I double click on that, you'll see that that is a fairly unique color. Now the reason why I use that color is so that we get some fairly accurate color built into reflections and things like that. Now I want to remove that color and include it in the alpha, or use the alpha channel. So what I do at this point is right click on the footage, interpret footage, main, and it brings up this panel here. And what we want to do is interpret the footage by eyedropping that color there. So if you just click on the eyedropper, click on that color, and you'll see that it matches here now. Now while we're in this window, we animated at 25 frames per second. So we need to make sure that this sequence, which by default in After Effects, my After Effects, sequences come in at 30 frames per second. I need to change that to 25, otherwise our length is not going to match our reference objects. And then we go OK, and you'll see if I highlight the master comp, it's 25 frames per second, 250 frames, and so too now is our fighter. There's our fighter element there, and it's nicely chopped out. If I switch the transparency on, you'll see that it's got its transparency built in now, using that process, that interpret process that we just used. So back in our master comp, we can drag down and put our fighter on top there, and you'll see that our little our pink reference points are actually sitting nicely where they should be relative to the object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in these cloud elements just so that we can put them in as a bit of a color reference as we start to build some of these effects. So I'm just going to bring in, it's a PSD file that I've created, the cloud layers PSD that I've created, and some of the cloud elements are actually, so I'll just click that to bring it in. Merge layer style into footage is what we want to use, because we want to use import kind composition, and we'll go OK. Now what that does is brings in these layers, and it also creates a composition. Now I'm just going to click on that composition just to show you what that